What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 4 of this series that I'm doing, the ABCs. You know what? This is probably the longest I've ever done a series, and I'm telling you, by the end of this, it will probably be the longest series on YouTube because there are a lot of letters in the alphabet, 26. So we have a long way to go. We're only on number 4, part 4, and letter D, the ABCs of English colloquialisms, with me, Teacher Carley, the one and the only. Let's just jump right in and get this thing started. Today, I'm giving you the top 5 idioms that start with the letter D. So the first one is kind of long. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. And this is an idiom that we use that just means don't rely on a single plan or opportunity. Diversify your investments or efforts. Don't rely on one thing, one plan, or one opportunity. Diversify your efforts or your investments. Make sure you have backup plans. Now, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I think you could kind of guess what this means, right? This idiom is not one of the idioms that you're like, I have no clue. Because there are a lot of idioms that if you don't know what it means already, you will not be able to figure it out because it's just complete opposite of what it is at face value. But don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of makes sense. So imagine you're living on a farm and maybe your mom or your husband, your wife, somebody's like, hey, go to the chickens and bring me the eggs. Fun little story, my grandpa had chickens. I used to collect the eggs for him, and I know you should not put all your eggs in one basket. So you go to the chicken coop, you get the eggs, and if you put all of them in one basket and then something happens and it all breaks, that's not good, right? No. All the eggs were just ruined. Same thing in life. If you rely your whole entire life or everything that you do relies on one single plan or one income or one something, if something goes wrong with that, your whole life gets set on fire, right? Like your whole life can be affected. So you need to make sure you have different things going on here and there to make it so you're not relying on one thing. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Little example, I realized back in, 2016, maybe 2017, that I indeed had all my eggs in one basket. I was a single mom at the time. It was before I met my current husband. And I was like, I have my job, I have my car, and we have our one apartment, and it's just my son and I, and we're surviving. But if anything happens to my car, if anything happens and I lose my job, I can't afford my apartment, and then what will happen to my son and I realized I shouldn't put all my eggs in one basket. I shouldn't be relying only on this one job or only on this one car. I need to have some kind of cushion, like an emergency fund or something. And so I started doing that, or I started doing side jobs too, so I have other flows of income as well. When it comes to my car, I started taking better care of my car because I was like, ooh, I really should not, neglect those little warning signs that pop up. I should take better care of my car because I can't put all my eggs in one basket and just rely on this car. If something happens, what am I gonna do? So I need to take care of it. If something does happen, if it's really bad, I can sell it, maybe make a little bit of money off of it, or I can have money from my emergency fund that I've been saving up to fix it. Stuff like that. So before that, Lord bless my parents, because I was calling them all the time like, help. I don't know how to be an adult. Yes, I know I'm an older adult. I was like 25 and I was like, but I don't know how to adults, please help. Yeah, I've learned the past few years, I've learned how to not put all my eggs in one basket. So an example sentence though for you all is, I know you're excited about that one job offer, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Keep looking for other opportunities. I know you're excited about that one job offer, but don't put all your eggs in one basket. Keep looking for other opportunities. Put all your eggs in one basket. Again, you rely on one single thing, one single plan, one single opportunity, but you really should be diversifying your investments, all right, or your efforts. So that was idiom number 1 that starts with letter D. Idiom number 2 for today is drive someone up a wall or up the wall. Drive someone up the wall drive someone up a wall. Now, this one is one that I heard a lot growing up because my mom used to say it to me all the time. So I'm going to give you the definition and then you can probably understand why my mom used to say it to me all the time. Definition of drive someone up the wall is to annoy or irritate someone greatly. You are annoying or irritating someone a lot. You are really making them upset. They are furious at the fact that you are so annoying right now. You're driving them up a wall. Now you see why my mom used to say it to me a lot? My mom is she's an amazing woman. She's a saint, but I was a very annoying child. I had ADD and ADHD growing up, and now my youngest son is the exact same, maybe even worse than I was. So now I'm understanding why my mom would tell me all the time that I was driving her up a wall. Because yeah, I get it. My kid also drives me up a wall. They're just being overly annoying or irritating. I remember this one time, I was maybe like a teenager. No, maybe like 12, almost like a preteen. And everybody at school started making these weird noises just for fun. It almost sounded like a chicken cluck. Please do not judge, all right? We were bored. It was like before the internet or everything was really popular. We didn't have smartphones. So back in like 2005, we would just come up with random things to entertain us. One of them was like, at my school, we had like this little sound that we would make and we would just make it over and over and over again, and it was fun. Well, my mom hated that sound to the point that she was like,
Carley, if you ever say this again, if you ever make that noise again, I swear you are moving out of this house.
And I was like, okay. Now, I'm going to call her bluff and say she would never have kicked me out, but she definitely threatened me with it, and I was scared as like, a preteen, back in the day. But no, we were making these annoying sounds, kind of like a chicken sound. I don't even know how to do it now. It's like something deep in the throat. And my mom was like, Carley, you're driving me up a wall. Like every day she's like, Carley, that sound drives me up a wall. Don't do it. Stop doing. Hush, be quiet. I'ma smack you. My mom would say that to me all the time. And my dad too. But my dad, he worked a lot. My mom was a teacher, so whenever we got off of school the same time and then she would come home, my dad, he worked a little bit later, and so my dad didn't get the worst of it. My mom really did, so bless her heart, I feel bad. But yeah, I drove her up the wall, and now my own kids, especially my youngest, really knows how to drive me up a wall too, because I love him so much, but he is persistent, and he will literally say mom 1,000,000 times until you answer him.
Mom, mommy, mama. What? Hi.
So I can be like, I work from home most of the time. I can be on a work call and he'll be like, mom, mommy, oma, which oma means mom in Korean. But if mommy doesn't work, he switches and he says oma like 1,000,000 times. And then I'm like, yes, guys. And he's like, I'm hungry. Well, you just ate. I'm hungry again. I was like, okay, well, wait. And, he just drives me up a wall. I could probably sit here for the next 10 minutes and say the word mom over and over again, because that is exactly what he does. But nobody wants to hear that. I'm going to spare you because I don't want to drive you up a wall and then you never come back and watch any of my videos ever again. Drive someone up a wall just means to annoy or irritate someone greatly. And of course, as a mother and even as a wife, yeah, I'm looking at you, my lovely husband right there watching this video right now. I know how it feels to be driven up the wall. All right, so now I'm going to give you guys an example sentence though. The constant noise from the construction site is driving me up the wall. The constant noise from the construction site is driving me up the wall. Drive someone, which you put the noun there, drive me, drive him, drive her, up the wall. Let's move on to idiom number 3 that starts with the letter D. Draw the line. Draw the line. And this just means to set a limit or boundary. If you draw the line, you're like, that's it, no more. I'm drawing the line. It is the limit, it is the boundary. So a lot of times you can say, I'm gonna draw the line and then blah, 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 blah. I'll draw the line if you don't do your homework on time for the 3rd day in a row. As a teacher, I used to be like that. That's where I draw the line. Okay, you missed 1 day of homework. I understand, life happens. You missed 2 days. That's a little sus, but again, life happens. You missed 3 days, that's where I draw the line. You are not doing your homework. You have to do it. Like, something has to give. You need to go back and redo it. And then also you are going to be penalized for it as well. I was trying to be a cool, and still now, I try to be a cool and a very understanding teacher, but you also have to make sure people don't take advantage of you. You have to learn the limits and where to draw the line. As a mom, I do the same thing. I know I give a lot of examples about my kids, but for my kids, if they forget to do something once, it's okay. They're kids. Twice, I totally understand it because, again, they are children. But once you forget to do the same thing 3 times, or if I've told you to do the same thing 3 times, that's kind of where I draw the line. That's where it's like, no, you are no longer forgetting. You are deliberately disobeying. You are not doing what I told you to do. That's the difference. So I draw the line there. Again, draw the line just means to set a limit or boundary. I did have an example I was going to give. I know I gave the one about my students and about my own kids, but even in the workplace, you have to draw the line sometimes, because I think I mentioned in a video a couple months ago that I was somehow, some way appointed to do another coworker's task. And because this coworker has slight authority over me, not really, we are pretty much equals, but this coworker has seniority over me. I felt like I wasn't able to say no. Maybe I talked about this in a podcast. Yes, I did talk about in the podcast how your no is hurting your career. Yes, so I felt like I couldn't say no to this particular coworker, but eventually it just bubbled up where I was like, I gotta draw the line. I can't finish my own work because I'm constantly doing your work. So I gotta draw the line here. I'm drawing the line. I'm setting the limit. I'm setting the boundary. Don't cross that line. I'm no longer doing your work for you. Boom. End of story. So an example sentence of this is, I'm willing to help out, but I draw the line at working weekends. I'm willing to help out, but I draw the line at working weekends. Draw the line. So we have 2 more to go over today. Again, these videos, they're the last Sunday of every month. And because we cover a lot, they typically are a little bit longer. So bear with me here. We have 2 more for today though. The next one is down to earth. Down to earth. And this just means practical, realistic, and unpretentious. If you're down to earth, you are practical, you're realistic, and you are unpretentious, which means basically you're chill. You're a cool dude. You are a go with the flow kind of person. You're very down to earth. Maybe you're easy to talk to. You understand things very easily. You're relatable, you're reliable, and you're realistic. You're not somebody who, here's a bonus for you all, has your head in the clouds. This is a bonus idiom for you all. When you have your head in the clouds, it means you are dreaming, like you're living on dreams and you're not really being realistic. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini tomorrow because I want it. Do you have the money? Those people have their heads in the cloud. If you're down to earth, you see how these 2 correlate? If you have your head in the clouds, you're kind of like living on a dream or something. But if you're down to earth, then you're just very practical, very realistic. Like me, I'm a down to earth person because I know I'm not gonna own a Lamborghini unless I win the lottery or some kind of miracle happens and I become a millionaire. Because 1, I'm a very frugal person. Yes, I do love shopping, but I'm also a bargain hunter. If I can get something that does the same job but for cheaper, I'm probably gonna do it. Yeah. So if I'll get my Toyota or my Hyundai or something rather than a Lamborghini. But you never know. Never say never, because I don't know, maybe it will happen, maybe not. Again, I'm a very down to earth person. I know that that's probably never going to happen to me and I'm okay with that. Right now, the way it's looking, I may or may not ever own a house. I'm hoping that I will be able to own a house in the next couple of years. Here in America, the housing market has been a little bit crazy, a roller coaster ride the past few years or so, but I'm also down to earth. I know that if I go and I buy a house right now, it's going to be ridiculously priced. And why would I want to do that? Why would I want to spend $300,000 to $500,000 more to buy a house now when 3 or 4 years ago that house was, again, $300,000 or $500,000 cheaper? I'm waiting, like hopefully it'll come back down again. Maybe not. We'll see. Again, it's just practical, realistic, or unpretentious. You're down to earth. They're very chill. So an example of this is, despite her fame, she's very down to earth and easy to talk to. Despite her fame, she's very down to earth and easy to talk to. Down to earth, again, practical, realistic, unpretentious. So the final one that we are going to go over today is dressed to the nines. Number 5, dressed to the nines. And this just means Wearing very fashionable or formal clothing. Wearing very fashionable or formal clothing. If you are dressed to the nines, you looking good today. You have on very nice clothes, very fashionable, maybe even formal. You are dressed to the nines. Before I give the actual example sentence, my friend's birthday at the time of this recording was over the weekend, and we all went out downtown to celebrate. We went out to dinner and we painted the town red, which is like, you know, another expression that we use. We just had a good time. My friend turned 30. We had like a theme to his birthday party where it was RIP to his 20s. So it was like a little funeral theme. We were all wearing black, and he had like a little sash that said RIP to my 20s on it. And we were dressed to the nines, man. Like, we looked good, all of us. We all matched. We were all in black, like including myself. Teacher Carley was out there, and I was like, oh, I look pretty good today. I had a long black dress, very classy. My hair was done nice, so it's kind of frizzy now, but it was nice then. I did my makeup accordingly, like, and I had like a little purse, like little satchel thing. I was like, oh, I look good. And my husband too. My husband looked amazing. Even all my friends were like, oh my gosh, you clean up nice. Like, you know, talking to my husband, and he was like, oh really? You know, like, we were dressed to the nines. We all looked good. All of us. There was about 4 of us, and we all looked really good. We were dressed up for the occasion, for the birthday party. So dressed to the nines. Very fashionable clothing. Basically, you're just looking good. So an example sentence is, she was dressed to the nines for the gala, looking absolutely stunning. She was dressed to the nines for the gala, looking absolutely stunning. Dressed to the nines. I hope you guys understand these idioms. I know it's a little bit longer video. We went over 5 idioms that start with the letter D. I gave you some short stories behind them and also example sentences. So I do hope that you have a better understanding of these idioms. If you do, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you all in the next video.